Good evening, my friends. Tonight I want to talk to you about 7 habits that will shape your life not just today, but every single day. These habits are not things you can put off for tomorrow. You can't wait for the perfect moment. If you're serious about achieving your best self, you need to battle these habits every single day. The first battle is complacency. It's that feeling of being comfortable thinking that what you've done is good enough. It's like a slow poison. You settle into a routine and think, I've done enough. But listen, success doesn't come to the complacent. It comes to the restless, to those who hunger for growth. Every day, fight the temptation to sit back and relax. Make sure you're taking one step forward, even when it feels like you've made it. The second battle is the habit of negative thinking. How often do you catch yourself doubting your own abilities, wondering if you can really make a difference? You must fight those thoughts. They are your biggest enemy. If you let them in, they'll drain your energy, steal your enthusiasm, and cripple your potential. Every day, challenge those thoughts. Replace them with positive action, with the belief that you are capable of greatness. Next, we face the habit of procrastination. It's easy to put things off. It's easy to say, I'll do it tomorrow, but you and I both know tomorrow never comes. If you want to win, you must act today. Get rid of the excuses, the delays. If you start today, you gain momentum. And when you have momentum, there's nothing you can't achieve. The fourth habit is blaming others. It's always easier to point the finger at someone else, right? It's the economy. It's my boss. It's my upbringing. But here's the truth. The moment you start blaming others, you lose control of your life. Take responsibility. Own up to where you are today and understand that your future is in your hands, not anyone else's. The fifth battle is the habit of short-term gratification. It's easy to get caught up in what feels good right now, the quick fixes, the easy rewards. But if you want lasting success, you must learn to delay that gratification. The most rewarding things in life take time, they take effort, and they require sacrifice. Focus on the long-term vision and remind yourself that the short-term satisfactions will never fulfill your ultimate purpose. The sixth habit to battle is mediocrity. It's settling for good enough instead of striving for excellence. Mediocrity is an enemy dressed as comfort. You can get by with it, but you can never thrive with it. Do not let this habit sneak into your life. Every day, give your best. Push for excellence in everything you do, in the way you think, in how you work, and in how you treat others. And finally, we come to the habit of avoiding growth. Growth requires change. It requires stepping out of your comfort zone. It requires a willingness to fail, to learn, and to keep moving forward, even when things don't go your way. Every day, choose growth. Choose to get better. Read that book. Take that course. Challenge yourself. The moment you stop growing is the moment you start dying. Complacency is one of the greatest enemies of progress. It sneaks into our lives when we start feeling comfortable with where we are. It's when you've put in some work, maybe even achieved a few wins, and you tell yourself, I'm good now. But let me tell you, there's no such thing as good enough in life. Success doesn't come to the comfortable. It comes to the restless. It comes to those who are not satisfied with the status quo. If you're not careful, complacency will become like a weight around your neck. It'll hold you down, keep you from striving for more, and prevent you from realizing your full potential. You'll stop looking for new opportunities. You'll stop growing. And without growth, your life starts to stagnate. You start to look around and realize that everyone else is moving forward while you're stuck in the same place. The danger of complacency is that it's subtle. It doesn't scream at you to stop. No, it whispers in your ear, you've done enough. Take it easy. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. It tells you to relax, to take a break, to put things off until tomorrow. But the truth is, tomorrow never comes. The only time you have is right now, and if you give in to complacency today, you will be that much further from your goals tomorrow. To battle complacency, you need to keep your focus sharp and your ambition strong. You must remind yourself daily that there's always room to improve, that there's always another level to reach. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. If you want to make a difference, if you want to achieve something extraordinary, you cannot afford to rest on your laurels. Every day, ask yourself, what can I do today to move forward? What can I do to grow? So don't let complacency steal your dreams. Don't let it convince you that you've arrived when there's so much more to do. Keep pushing, keep striving, keep learning. Complacency has no place in a life of achievement. The moment you start getting too comfortable, you begin to lose the edge that got you where you are. Stay hungry. Stay driven. Never settle for good enough. Keep moving forward and keep battling complacency every single day. Negative thinking is like a thief in the night. It creeps in when you least expect it, taking away your energy, your confidence, and your belief in yourself. It convinces you that you're not good enough, that your dreams are too big, and that success is meant for someone else. It's a mindset that undermines everything you try to achieve. If you let it, negative thinking will become a permanent resident in your mind, casting shadows on every opportunity and blocking every possibility. But here's the harsh truth: negative thinking is never your friend. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't protect you. It only holds you back. When you think negatively, you limit your potential. You see problems instead of solutions. You focus on obstacles instead of opportunities. And over time, that kind of thinking becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You think you can't, and because of that, you don't. What's even more dangerous about negative thinking is how it spreads. It doesn't stay contained. It infects your actions, your decisions, and the way you see the world. You start second-guessing yourself. You hesitate. You procrastinate. You stop taking risks. And every time you let negative thoughts dictate your behavior, you push yourself further from the success you want. But here's the good news: you have the power to change your thoughts. Negative thinking only wins when you allow it to. The moment you recognize it, you can challenge it. You can replace it with something positive, something empowering. Start by taking control of your inner dialogue. Catch yourself when those doubts creep in and replace them with affirmations of strength, capability, and belief in your future. Instead of thinking, "I can't do this," tell yourself, "I can learn, I can grow, and I will succeed." You see, success doesn't come from being perfect, it comes from being persistent. And that persistence starts with your mind. If you want to change your life, you must first change your thoughts. Every day you have a choice. Will you let the negative thoughts win, or will you take charge of your mindset and create the future you want? The choice is yours, but it starts with breaking free from the habit of negative thinking. The moment you decide to think differently is the moment everything starts to change. Procrastination is one of the most dangerous habits you can develop because it doesn't just steal time, it steals your future. We all have the tendency to delay, to put things off, to say, "I'll do it tomorrow." But here's the thing: tomorrow never comes. The longer you wait, the more opportunities slip through your fingers. And before you know it, the years have passed and you've done nothing. Procrastination is a silent killer. It's not loud. It doesn't announce itself. Instead, it hides behind excuses. "I'm not ready yet. I don't have enough time. I'll start next week." And every time you give in to those excuses, you lose ground. Every delay makes the task at hand seem bigger, more overwhelming, and harder to tackle. Procrastination creates unnecessary pressure, and as that pressure builds, it becomes easier to avoid what needs to be done. But here's the truth: if you keep putting things off, you're never going to accomplish anything significant. You'll look back one day and realize that all you've done is sit on the sidelines, waiting for the perfect moment to start. But there is no perfect moment. The time to act is now. Waiting for the right time is just a clever excuse for not taking responsibility for your own success. The only way to break free from procrastination is to stop waiting for perfection and start taking action, no matter how small the step. The key is to begin. The moment you take that first step, momentum kicks in, and before you know it, you're moving forward. The hardest part is always the beginning. Once you start, things begin to fall into place. You have to hold yourself accountable. Ask yourself, what will happen if I don't act today? The consequences of inaction are often much worse than the discomfort of taking the first step. So take that step. Start small, but start now. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait for things to be perfect. Perfection is an illusion. Progress is real. Procrastination doesn't just keep you from your goals, it robs you of your potential. Every day you put off doing what you know needs to be done is a day you lose. Every moment you waste is one you'll never get back. So the next time you catch yourself saying, "I'll do it tomorrow," stop. Recognize it for what it is. It's a habit, a bad one, and it can be broken. The future is waiting for you to take action. So take it right now. Blame is one of the most destructive habits you can allow into your life. It's a sneaky habit because it doesn't always seem like a bad thing at first. It's easy to blame others, to point the finger, to say, "It's because of this person or that situation that I am where I am." But every time you do that, you lose control of your life. Blame keeps you stuck in the past, and while you're focused on who or what is to blame, you're not taking responsibility for the one thing you can control: your own actions. When you blame someone or something else, you're giving away your power. You're telling yourself that your circumstances, your setbacks, or the people around you have more control over your future than you do. But here's the reality: the only person who can determine your future is you. Blame is a trap. It makes you feel justified for your situation, But in reality, it prevents you from taking the necessary steps to change that situation. The longer you hold on to blame, the longer you stay in the same place, repeating the same patterns, making the same excuses. Now, I'm not saying that life doesn't present challenges. We all face setbacks, obstacles, and sometimes unfair circumstances. But how you respond to those challenges is what defines you. You can't change the past and you can't change other people, but you can always change your mindset and your actions. Blame keeps you stuck in a victim mentality, but taking responsibility gives you the freedom to change your life. Instead of blaming others, ask yourself, what could I have done differently? How can I learn from this and grow? The moment you take responsibility, the moment you stop blaming and start owning your part in the situation, you take back control of your life. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start being the creator of your future. Blame also poisons your relationships. When you point fingers at others, you create resentment and distance. It's easy to blame your boss, your spouse, your friends, or anyone who you think is standing in your way. But the truth is, blaming them only harms you. It makes you feel powerless, frustrated, and angry, and none of that will get you any closer to your goals. The moment you take responsibility for your own actions, you shift the focus from what's wrong to what you can do to make things right. Remember, life isn't about who or what you can blame. It's about what you can do. It's about taking control, making decisions, and moving forward. Blame will only keep you in the same place, while responsibility will move you forward toward the success you're capable of achieving. If you want to change your life, stop looking outward and start looking inward. Ask yourself, what can I do today to move closer to my goals? The moment you stop blaming is the moment you take your life back. It's time to let go of blame and step into the power of responsibility. The habit of seeking short-term gratification is one of the most dangerous traps in today's world. It's everywhere, from the constant lure of distractions, to the quick fixes, to the instant rewards we can get with the tap of a button. It's easy to fall into this habit because it gives you immediate pleasure, immediate satisfaction. But here's the problem: those quick hits of pleasure don't lead to long-term success. They don't build anything meaningful. They just fill the moment, and then they leave you feeling empty when the moment passes. If you give in to short-term gratification too often, you end up sacrificing your long-term goals for fleeting pleasures. You put off what really matters: your health, your wealth, your relationships, because you're too focused on what feels good right now. You watch another episode of your favorite show when you should be learning something new. You eat that extra snack, even though you know it doesn't serve your body. You spend money on things you don't need instead of investing in your future. Every time you choose instant gratification, you push your long-term success further away. The truth is, most of the things that truly matter in life require patience, effort, and time. Success isn't built in a day. It's built over months, years, and decades. But the power of short-term gratification is that it tells you deserve this right now. It convinces you that waiting, working hard, and delaying your desires is somehow wrong or too difficult. And yet the very people who are able to build lasting success are the ones who have learned to say no to immediate pleasures in favor of long-term gains. If you want to live an extraordinary life, you must learn to delay gratification. It doesn't mean you can't enjoy the good things in life. It just means you have to put things in perspective. You have to understand that the greatest rewards come from hard work, sacrifice, and discipline. The easy path of instant pleasure might feel good for a moment, but it won't help you build the future you want. The road to success is about making choices that may not be easy today, but will pay off in the long run. Start thinking long-term. When faced with a choice, ask yourself, what will this decision do for me in the future? Will it help you achieve your goals, or will it take you further from them? Ask yourself if the temporary satisfaction is worth the long-term sacrifice. The best things in life take time. They require consistency, effort, and a willingness to wait for the rewards that come with putting in the work. If you're serious about success, you must be willing to work for it. You must be willing to delay the instant gratification for the lasting rewards. Build habits that focus on what matters most. Invest your time, energy, and money in things that will pay off in the future, not just in the moment. And when you learn to master this habit, you'll find that the long-term rewards are far more satisfying than anything instant pleasure can offer. Success isn't about what you get today, it's about what you earn tomorrow. So start today by choosing long-term gains over short-term fixes and watch your life transform. Mediocrity is the silent killer of dreams. It's the habit that tells you that good enough is acceptable, that you don't have to strive for excellence, that you can just coast through life. And let me tell you, mediocrity will never get you to the life you want. It's easy to fall into, it's comfortable. It's what most people settle for because it doesn't require much effort, it doesn't demand excellence, and it doesn't ask you to step outside your comfort zone. But here's the truth: if you want to achieve anything of value, mediocrity will hold you back every single time. The problem with mediocrity is that it breeds complacency. Once you start settling for good enough, you stop pushing yourself. You stop seeking improvement. You stop challenging yourself to be better, to work harder, to go further. Mediocrity makes you think that the minimum is sufficient, that doing just enough to get by is all you need. But the reality is, the minimum effort will only produce minimal results. If you want extraordinary results, you have to be willing to give extraordinary effort. Excellence is a choice, not a coincidence. It's about going the extra mile, taking that extra step, and putting in that extra work that others are too lazy or too comfortable to do. Excellence is about refusing to settle. It's about asking, how can I do this better? It's about always striving for improvement, even when you've already achieved success. Mediocrity doesn't ask those questions. Mediocrity just wants to get by. Mediocrity doesn't demand the best of you, but you should. Don't let mediocrity rob you of your potential. When you settle for average, you rob the world of the greatness you have to offer. You don't just fail yourself, you fail the people who depend on you, the people who look up to you, and the people who need your unique gifts and talents. Mediocrity doesn't just affect you, it affects everyone around you. When you rise above it, you set an example for others to follow. You inspire others to push harder, reach higher, and be more than they thought possible. But if you give in to mediocrity, you're doing the exact opposite. You're telling others that it's okay to give less than their best. You are capable of far more than you realize. Mediocrity hides your potential from you. It convinces you that you don't have what it takes, that you should just be content with what you have. But the truth is, you are capable of greatness. It's time to stop accepting mediocrity in any area of your life, whether it's your career, your relationships, or your health. You have the ability to be extraordinary, but that requires a commitment to excellence every single day. You can't take days off. You can't lower your standards. If you want something great, you've got to give great effort. Every time you feel the pull of mediocrity, remember that it's just an excuse to stay comfortable. The extraordinary life is waiting for you, but it's not going to come to you on its own. You have to choose it. You have to choose to be better. You have to choose excellence every single day. Mediocrity will never get you where you want to go. Only excellence will. So make the choice today to step out of mediocrity and into the greatness that is within you. Avoiding growth is a dangerous habit, and it's one that many people fall into without even realizing it. Growth takes effort. It takes discomfort. It takes vulnerability, and because of that, many choose to avoid it. Instead of challenging themselves, instead of stepping outside their comfort zones, they stay where it's safe, familiar, and easy. But here's the truth: if you're not growing, you're dying. There's no neutral. There's no standing still. The moment you stop growing is the moment you start falling behind, and eventually that stagnation will catch up with you. Growth isn't always easy. It doesn't feel good all the time. It requires failure, learning, and adaptation. It requires you to confront your weaknesses and improve on them. It demands that you look at yourself in the mirror and ask, what do I need to improve? And most people don't want to ask that question because it's uncomfortable. It forces them to confront the fact that they're not where they want to be, that they haven't yet reached their full potential. But that discomfort is exactly where the magic happens. If you constantly avoid growth, if you choose to stay in your current state, you're choosing mediocrity. You're choosing to settle. You're saying, this is good enough. I don't need to push any further. But what happens when you stop pushing? You stop progressing. The world around you is changing, and if you're not changing with it, you'll be left behind. Your goals will become more distant, your dreams will fade, and your potential will go untapped. Growth means challenging yourself every day. It means pushing past your limits and doing things you've never done before. It's about trying new things, taking risks, and learning from your mistakes. Growth is about reading the books that stretch your mind, surrounding yourself with people who challenge you, and investing in skills that take you to the next level. Growth is never convenient, and it's never comfortable. But the rewards are far greater than the temporary discomfort. Avoiding growth is like saying no to your future. You're holding yourself back, sabotaging your own success, and keeping yourself from the life you deserve. The only way to achieve extraordinary results is by embracing growth, by constantly seeking to improve, to become more, to do more. You must commit to becoming a better version of yourself each day, whether that's through learning, developing new skills, or simply becoming more disciplined. The key to growth is understanding that it's a continuous process. It doesn't stop when you hit a certain level of success. It doesn't stop when you reach a goal. The moment you stop growing, you start losing your edge. The most successful people are the ones who never stop learning, never stop growing, and never stop evolving. If you want to change your life, if you want to achieve something great, you must be willing to embrace growth. You must be willing to step into the discomfort of change. You must be willing to do the work, to put in the effort, and to face the challenges that come with growth. Stop avoiding it. Growth is the path to success, and success is waiting for you. The only question is, will you choose to grow? Will you choose to face the discomfort and become the person you're meant to be? The choice is yours, but remember, avoiding growth is avoiding your future. It's time to step into it. Avoiding growth is a dangerous habit. And unfortunately, it's one many people fall into without realizing it. It's easy to get comfortable in life, to settle into a routine, and to stop challenging yourself. But when you stop growing, you stop moving forward. And the world doesn't stop for you. Life is constantly evolving, and if you're not evolving with it, you're getting left behind. Growth requires effort. It requires stepping into the unknown, taking risks, and doing things that make you uncomfortable. Most people are afraid of this discomfort, so they avoid it. They stick to what's familiar, to what they know, because it feels safe. But here's the problem: safety doesn't lead to success. Safety doesn't create breakthroughs. If you're not growing, you're not advancing, and if you're not advancing, you're stuck. The truth is, growth is a choice. It's not something that happens by accident. It's something you have to pursue deliberately. You have to seek it out, even when it's difficult, even when it feels like you're not ready. When you avoid growth, you're avoiding the opportunity to improve, to learn, and to become the best version of yourself. And that means you're also avoiding the success that comes with it. Growth is a requirement for progress. Without it, you can't achieve anything meaningful. Every time you avoid growth, you're telling yourself that you're fine where you are. But here's the truth: you're never really fine. There's always more to learn, more to do, and more to become. If you're not growing, you're shrinking. And the more you avoid it, the harder it becomes to break out of that rut. You'll find yourself stuck in the same place, doing the same things, getting the same results year after year. And that's a slow form of death. Growth is what keeps you alive. It's what keeps you moving, evolving, and achieving. If you want to get ahead in life, if you want to achieve something extraordinary, you must embrace growth. You must get comfortable with being uncomfortable.